as COO and is currently the executive director on the board. He has been part of many accolades in his career spanning 25 years. He was one of the youngest COO to have appeared in Forbes in 2013, a very proud moment for us. He also has been awarded as 50 best retailers, best retail minds in India, 100 top retail professionals, to name a few. He is none other than Tarak Bhattacharya. Welcome, Tarak, to our webinar.
Thank you.
Our second alumnus is from the 1997 batch, who is an accomplished professional with over 2 decades of experience in hospitality and real estate industry, Mr. Samir Verma. He started his career with Sarovar Hotel Groups in F&B operations, specializing in restaurants, pubs, all-day dining, and banquets. Eventually, he furthered his career abroad, working as a cellar master for 9 years and became a connoisseur of wines from across the globe. He is a thorough generalist, and so he opted to join the booming mall industry as an operation manager of a UAE-based multinational conglomerate, Lulu Group International's first mall in Chennai, India. 8 years in Lulu brought him many accolades and a quick rise in rank as general managers of Lulu's upcoming humongous mall in Lucknow. Welcome, Mr. Samir Verma.
Thank you. Thank you.
And he's the reason I joined Anjuman also. Thank you. Their achievements are endless. To move on to the next alumnus on panel is Mr. Sabir Sheikh, with over 16 years experience in the food and beverage industry, which includes restaurants and pubs. Sabir was associated with very well-known brands such as ITC Grand Central, Britannia's Hotel Royal Court, UK, Sijo and the Soul Dish, Potpurri, Moshe's, WTF, and the Bombay Bronx. He successfully ran the Big Nasty for 6 years. Eventually, he transitioned to become a successful entrepreneur for brand Sambar Pub and Kitchen. Welcome, Sabir, to our webinar.
Thank you, Arshali. Thank you so much.
And last but not the least, we have Ms. Priyanka Devsaria, alumna of the 2008 batch, also done Wines and Spirit Education Trust 3 levels and PG Diploma in Marketing, a powerhouse of talent and knowledge, worked with renowned hotel and restaurant brands like Four Seasons, Yaucha, Shangri-La. She commenced her journey as a beverage trainer and consultant since 2013 by actively conducting brand promotion, tasting sessions, and training for Cointreau, Drambuie, Indus Pride, Fondagat Honey, and Paul John. I think I will need an entire webinar to do justice to the profiles of the alumni. But nonetheless, we need to now begin with our questions for our panelists. Without much ado, let's begin with Tarak. So Tarak, my first question to you is, tell me about your journey from college till now.
A very tough question, actually, to start with. But let me think. I think what started off with a one room transpiring into a kitchen sometimes, into a classroom sometimes, into an F&B service area, into an housekeeping class. So I think from there all it started. I think very humble beginning, as you said it right. I think we started with a one room and then actually graduated, preceded with, I think over a period of time, I think we started. Then I think Anjuman offered us a huge space on the first floor of the main building, which was a library, I think some time back. We converted that into classrooms, F&B training area, housekeeping, our locker rooms, ladies' rooms, etc. So, so that is how we all started many years ago. I think I still get the jitters, I think, when I think about it. But I think it was a very humble beginning. And I think the best part was that our teachers were a great coach for us, I think, to start with. I think that is where it all started. The first batch, we didn't know what was happening around us, what was happening. Wearing a suit on the third year and sitting in a classroom with 40-degree was an effort by itself, but we had to do it. So I think we had left ourselves to the college and the professors and our coaches, as we say all the time, that what they will tell us to do, we'll just do it. And so it all started, I think, very humbly, I think, as I keep on saying. And I think it is fantastic to, just go back there and talk about it today. So
yes,
that is where it all started.
Yeah, I remember when we had invited you for the valedictory eve, and you along with
Yeah.
your two other classmates who had come to college. It was a fun session talking to you all, to know so many things from you, that how that one room facilities and what fun you all had, because you could hear the other teachers' lectures also. And I'm sure it
Absolutely.
was a great fun for you. And I really got the sense of that deja vu when we were speaking. And I went back to my college days also, because when I joined, it was something else. When I took admission, I was doing the admission process. The scenario was something else. And when I joined, I have first floor ready with a lovely front office lobby and a housekeeping lab. So it's a great, and our college has really reached to a really high level. Also,
Absolutely. I think,
yeah.
sorry. Yeah, go on.
No, continue, Tarak, continue.
No, I was saying that I think the recent ones would have all the luxuries. I'm sure about it, and I keep on saying that we had given it all to our professors and teachers and principals to tell what needs to be done. So right from maybe how to cut an onion to actually get into a classroom with suit and tie and talk about front office, etc. It was a fact of life by itself. I think when we talk about it today.
Right.
So I think the leaders, I think, were the principals who actually gave us that direction on what needs to be done, and how to be self-disciplined. I think how to be self-reliant. I think never say die attitude was all got from them. I think I really must admire the principals and teachers and Anjuman Islam, everybody. I think today to talk
Right.
about it, and if I've got this opportunity to do it today, I think it's a great day for me.
Yeah, thank you very much, Tarak, for the same. Also, I'm curious to know that why did you not go into mainstream hotels, and what were you looking for your career after hotel management? And what parallel options do you suggest for our prospective hotel management graduates?
So if I say that today I wanted to do something different, people will appreciate what I say. And but if I would have said that I want to do something different when I just passed out from college, people would have abused me. But frankly speaking, actually that's a fact. I didn't get to any of the campuses in the hotels.
Mm-hmm.
Those
Mm-hmm.
were the times we had only Taj and Oberoi to talk about. There was no Marriotts and Hiltons and Hyatts of the world.
Right,
So I
right.
didn't get to anything, let me tell you frankly. So I had to get to something which I got through, I think, to talk
Uh-huh.
about it. So
Uh-huh.
that is why but yeah, I think probably that was the best decision that at least I started working that time
Mm-hmm.
instead of just sitting at home. And after passing out, where all my colleague of 32 people had already
Right.
got through many places in hotels placements.
Uh-huh.
But
Uh-huh.
I remember I had got something in Lonavala. I will not name the hotel though, in front office.
Okay. Okay.
uh, so with my color, I don't think so Oberoi and Taj was allowing me to get into the hotel. So probably I had to choose the other line. But yeah,
Right.
I bless myself. I think I count my blessings of everybody that I got it through
Mm-hmm.
in the right place sometime.
And you have reached a lovely level also. So what do you suggest about the retail industry to our students? Because you worked with Barista, you worked with Madover Donuts, you worked with Nando's. So how was your experience for the same?
I think retail is growing. That's the in thing for the last, I think, 15 odd years. I think to start off, F&B
Right.
retail is the key word. I think people talk about it. I think that's the biggest arena after, in fact, the hospitality by itself, although it is not recognized as the government of India as of now as a sector, but I think as a stream, as a stream, I say that we contribute to 2% of GDP. Almost 7 crore people work in this industry. So I
Right.
think retail is here to stay. Retail is the future of any of the developing countries. India is definitely one of them to talk about. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
so I think it's a huge opportunity. And as you said it right in the initial thing, that right from getting bigger in life into all the stream, be it in films also. I think we had
Right.
cell alumni who are also hotel management graduate.
Right.
One of our hotel management graduate is also married to Mahendra Singh Dhoni. So I think we have all the stream to go about everywhere, I think.
Right, right.
It's
Absolutely. And
a huge opportunity. Yeah, I think it's a huge opportunity in this field now. The malls are talking about getting the fresh, not only fresh graduate, but the GMs of the hotel to join them as the center head of a mall today. I think
yes,
airlines, you talk about any sector apart from hotels today,
right.
talk about our industry today. Because it is given, like even the prime minister and presidents who travel along with the IAS and IFS, apart from that IAS and IFS, only the hotel
Right.
management graduates travel with them in terms of chef and butlers.
Right.
So
Right.
we are also travel industry, if you ask me, the industry talks about it. Any film awards happens, there is a chef which is required. So I think we are everywhere.
Right, right. I agree. Thank you very much. So, to all the budding hotel management graduates, this is an eye opener for you that hotels is not the only options, but many more options for you. Somehow,
Sure.
you can get into parliament also to be the chef or a butler for the president or the prime
Absolutely.
minister.
Absolutely. In fact, let me
Yeah.
tell you that in the year 1996, when Miss World happened in India, I was the special butler for her.
Oh, wow. Great, great,
Yes.
great. So thank you, Tarak. Now I would like
Thank you.
Sami to throw some light with regards to prospect on hotels, cruise line, and mall management for hospitality students.
Hi, everyone. Yeah, I have been lucky enough to work in different, industries, three industries to name, in the past 2 decades. Talking about the hotels, you see, hotels are definitely, there's a lot of positive vibes in the for the hotels as they're coming up as the industry in the past few years. If you look at India and you look at the figures of 2019, around 1.8 billion domestic tourists and around 9 million foreign tourists have have done their travels within India. So definitely huge demand, and with a huge demand, you need to have a supply that can meet up, and that's the reason why today you look at big chains, international chains like Marriott's and Hyatt and um, Accor Group. They have come to India and they are spreading not only in the metro cities but also in tier 2 city or tier 3 city with a different section of hotels that they have. Definitely, there's a lot of as the good infrastructure is coming up or the hotels are coming up, there is going to be a demand for true professionals over here. Once when one decides to be a part of this industry, now it depends on each individual, he or she decides to be whether you want to be a part of the front office. If you know you have a good personality where you are quite extrovert and you like to interact with people right away and are a great problem solver, go for it. If you have a good eye for detail and you have housekeeping is one of those. It's housekeeping is just not housekeeping. There's a lot of things. It's a very vast thing. It's People used to think that it's just a very small, you just do housekeeping. So when you enter housekeeping, the one thing that if I check in into a hotel, what do I want? I want to fast check in and I want my room to be immaculate. So there's a huge
Right.
responsibility that's sitting upon that department to take care
Mhm.
of the hotel. And then of course there's F&B, which was always known to be hotel industry. Like F&B was always regarded as a forefront, but comes in the F&B, you have the service. Somebody is fluent enough and wants to be is a fruit lover, can go over there, and the person who are very creative in nature and have the talent to and have the knack for cooking can get
Mhm.
into the F&B production line. So
Right.
definitely hotels are rising up and there's a lot of opportunity over there. Cruise lines, if somebody is keen to travel as well as see the world and then add some fun with their work experience, our next point is to be over there. Here I would say F&B is again a prominent player. And they are actually in the cruise lines, you can get into a specialty, like a specialty restaurant um, experience, or even a sommelier or a cellar master, which I was, and learn a lot about international food and beverage. Then for the production, of course, there's no limits, because once you are on the high seas, you just churn out your menus internationally, and there's a lot to learn. So for an
Right.
experience wise, again, this sets a very, very strong base, I would say. Coming to the
Mhm.
mall industry that you asked, Ashali,
Yes.
that was coming up, let's say 15 years ago. If you take a list of today top 100 malls in India,
Right.
you would see that the top from the GMs or the center directors, what they call us, or the operation heads, they mostly would be from the our or they would be hotel management graduates. And why is
Right.
it? Because I believe hotel management, as Tarak said, once you go through this churn of hotel management of 3 years, 4 years, and then you work in a hotel, you somehow you develop your personality to be a
Mhm.
360 degree. And then
Right.
be it marketing or be it events management or be it operations or be it anything that can come up, you the guy can handle it very easily.
Right.
So I believe that's, and the malls are, if you look at a good mall, the malls are always being run as a four-star property of a hotel. You can compare
Right.
them. So the
Mm.
operations are quite similar, and that's
Mm.
how it's a great thing. And if you're successful in the mall, once you get into say operations, and then as you move on, you can always move towards marketing or business development, where
Right.
you can develop yourself. So there's a lot in these three sectors that you asked me about to achieve.
Yes. Yeah. So hotel management is something which mold us to be the perfect master of trades, and we can mold ourselves to any industry. As you
Correct.
have gone through the three different industries of hospitality, rather. And
Right.
yes, I'm sure in malls also today there's a lot of customer care services and housekeeping and
Yeah.
personal touch. I know many of our current, 4 years, 5 years passed out students who are doing really well in good brands of clothing and trainers in Reliance Trends and all. So I'm sure the opportunities are increasing day by day for us. Samir, I would also
Sure.
like our audience to know how fast the hospitality sector is growing and what are the new opportunities for current graduates in different sectors.
See, we talk about hospitality. The last figure that if you look at, first of all, it's the hospitality and tourism are the biggest service sectors of India. Now,
Right.
now the hospitality, if you look at the hotels or something, they are being run into two sectors, which is an organized sector and an unorganized sector.
Right.
Which the organized sector was, let's say, with 2019, it was around contribute or 32% of the total equity of your hospitality. So with the figures of today, the industry sits at 22 billion, and
Hmm.
with the growth which is expected to anywhere from 8 to 9%, there's no everyone knows about it, how these international chains have opened have
Right.
got into India, and how they
Hmm.
have been expanding through franchisee model. Today also, today's India is one of the countries where I tell you, where one of the couple of big international chains are
Right.
looking, apart from being just a franchisee,
Mhm.
rather than to own the property and run it. So that's
Right.
great. That shows how much confidence they have into this market of India. So
Right.
that's one there. And the good thing for us, coming from this from the hotel management graduates, is of course we belong to, and we would contribute to the organized sector
Hmm.
of the hospitality. This sector is also growing, so which is
Right.
expected to take around 38 to 39%. It would be in next 4 years. So
Right.
definitely there's a lot of scope. You see how Oyo came in, and how today
Right.
Oyo owns around 2 lakh or 2.5 lakh rooms in India,
Right.
and they have been
Right.
operating. So like there's a lot of scope. Oyo
Right.
was earlier, when they came up with 1,500 or 2,000 rupee, a
Right.
room charge.
Per
Today they
room
have
night.
entered into a four-star category. So that's a
Right.
confidence that's been running. So it's immensely growing. It's great.
Yes.
And apart from the core, I think so. There's a lot of QSR. There's a lot of retail that is coming, as Tarak rightly mentioned. There's a lot
Right.
of convention centers that are opening. So
Right.
all in all, there's ample scope, I would say.
Yes. We have recently Geo World also come up at BKC, and a lot of opportunities for the hotel management graduate to get
Right,
into it. So
right.
yes, there is a great scope over here which will reach sky and which has no limits at all for you. Thank you,
Sure,
Samir,
sure,
for
sure.
your knowledge
Thank you.
upon same. Let's move on to our next alumnus, Sabir, who is
I
running a successful restaurant business. Sabir, enhance your cruising experience from an food and beverage personnel to an entrepreneur.
all right. So like everyone else, once you get into a catering college, the first thing you want to do is open a restaurant once sometimes. So even I had that dream. Uh, None of us actually know on the first day how to do that, but then we have that dream. So I had a very humble beginning. Started with ITC, worked as an
Right.
operational trainee, moved to UK, came back,
Yes.
started working. Now, when I got back, I had an opportunity to get back to hotels or work
Mhm.
with standalones. And standalones weren't very big then in
Right.
say 2006.
Yes.
There were very few good restaurants out there in the market. and I was very lucky to get through Seju on the Soul Dish. It was like a very modern East, modern Asian restaurant on the lines of Hakkasan, Yawach of today, but
Right.
way back in 2006. And so started working there at a very junior level, at a captain. Started working there, grew up the ranks, and I think working with standalone actually changed the way I thought how businesses are run, and how it actually enhanced my entrepreneurship skills. Uh, in today's language, I feel at least till about 15 years back, standalone, you got to be very atmanirbhar, and you were by your own. It was only, I think, only after the transition of McDonald's and the Domino's coming in the market,
Right.
the restaurant industry got little corporatized. Otherwise, it was a purely mom and pop setup. So the owners would just come once in a while. The manager is on his own. He's arranging his supplies also, to staffing also, to the maintenance.
Right.
Dealing with maintenance issues. So everything. So he was on his own. And so when you actually do that, you think it's too much to handle, and it's a lot of pressure. But it's not the case. It's only exposing you to a lot of things. You learn to take calls, and in
Right.
business, I think taking calls is one of the very important things. Right or wrong is a different thing, but then you need to have the courage to take a call. Then you're exposed to the client directly. You're exposed to cops. You're exposed to excise. You're exposed to BMC. You're exposed to
Right.
everyone out there in the world, and you're just
So
there.
true.
So yeah, so with time, I think that transition from hotels to a standalone changed the way I thought, and
Right.
that got the entrepreneurship skills in me, or rather, which were there, and it enhanced that.
Right.
And yeah, I think that was the journey. And then obviously, like everyone else, you don't taste success in the first go.
So true.
I've
So
had
true.
had a couple of failures, but it's okay. You make mistakes, you learn
Right.
from those mistakes, you
Yes.
overcome them, and then you again make new mistakes. So
So
every
true.
restaurant I opened, I had some of the other mistake, which is okay.
Okay.
Eventually, so it took me time. Eventually, I think it took me another 6-8 years.
Right.
When I opened the Big Nasty in 2010,
Right.
2011, that was the place which turned things around for me. Uh,
So true.
it was, yeah, it was a talk of the town then.
Yeah. Yeah.
Obviously, then there were no social and the BSCs of the world.
So true.
Uh, yeah. So yeah, there were good days. We ran it successfully for about 6 years,
Right.
and obviously every bar, every restaurant has a shelf life. It
So true. So true.
even did it, and
Mm-hmm.
then me and another partner who comes from South, we
Mm-hmm.
came up together. We came up with this concept of South Indian bistro. So we've
Okay.
all had a thought of
Mm-hmm.
a South Indian restaurant, which is your typical Udupi veg restaurant.
Right.
We've
Mm-hmm.
never had alcohol and South Indian food together, and not even a typical South Indian food. I mean, the
Okay.
Southern India is all four regions, all four states. So we
Right.
thought, why not get the basic food of Southern India, which is not there in the market,
Right.
and serve it. So yeah, we've been good doing that for last 3 years.
Mm.
So yeah, a lot of other things also. Apart from that, we also do a lot of consulting. We consult restaurants, new setups, bars, clubs, cafes. So yeah, it's been a beautiful journey. We've had like bad months and months, and then superb months for a couple of months. And so yeah, it's taught me a lot.
Right.
Made a lot of contacts. Gave us an opportunity. I mean, the only thing which I really like about being an entrepreneur is having the opportunity to impact someone's life.
Right. Right.
I'll just take an opportunity to give you an example here. So in Big Nasty, I was just roaming around. It wasn't even a busy day, and I went to the kitchen and I saw a kitchen utility guy had a pen on his pocket.
Okay.
Uniform. I got a little curious
Uh-huh.
because it's a general thing. The guy washing utensils must have come from some village, must have not been educated,
Right.
whatever. And I went up to him, spoke to him, and I found out he was a really educated guy. He'd done his bachelor in arts, and
Right.
unfortunately, he had just come down from village and he didn't have a job, and he started working there.
Oh,
And when I got him out, we trained him. I put him in my head office. They trained him with stores, and
oh,
eventually that guy went up to handling of like the entire purchase department of our outlet.
oh,
So
wow.
so you really feel nice when you have such you have an opportunity. If I was not an entrepreneur, maybe just someone else, probably I wouldn't have had the opportunity. So that is something
Correct.
which I really like about this of being an
Yeah.
entrepreneur.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
beautiful journey. Just like as college, you're teaching, you're learning, you're experiencing so many licenses about every different BMCs and everything.
Yes.
And I'm sure somewhere the restaurant managership in college must have also motivated you to become an entrepreneur.
All right. So we've all had
Yeah.
those experiences.
Yes,
I
I
wouldn't want to
remember.
discuss that here.
No worries, no worries. Taking further on same, Sabir, would you also like to share
Uh,
certain similarity or differences on working in hotel restaurants and standalone restaurants?
uh, Actually, they're two different worlds, I think, completely two different worlds. As I
Right.
said, so today, if you talk about, say, a company like a Mad Over Donuts or any of these companies, they're very big companies. They're very corporate. They have systems, they have processes, they have SOPs to follow, and all of that. So a hotel always had the systems, processes. They had the departments in place. They'll have their responsible managers in place. So
Right.
if there's a bulb fuse, all you need to do is inform the maintenance, and they'll come and do it.
Right.
Right? In a standalone, you don't have the privilege to do that. If the bulb is fused, it is fused. You go to electrical shop, get a bulb, come back,
Right.
fix it. That. So there are differences. There are a hell lot of
Right.
differences. Similarities, of course. I've been very fortunate to work with restaurants where we've delivered superb service, 5-star
Right.
class service, and I don't think any
Mm.
restaurant, no matter
Mm.
how big or small it is, do
Right.
not want to give any undergraded service or want to
Right.
anywhere not
Uh-huh.
serve people well. So I think the spirit of serving the customers well and giving right food and and right quality, right taste, to the
Mm-hmm.
best of their capacity is I think like the biggest similarity, whether it's a hotel or a standalone. uh,
Right.
the service sequences will always remain same. The guest is gonna
Mm-hmm.
come, you give menu,
Right.
take orders, all of that is gonna remain same.
Mm-hmm.
Differences, yes, as I said, a lots and lots of differences, lots
Mm-hmm.
and lots of challenges working in standalone.
Right.
uh, Now, yes, as I said, at least now there are few companies
Mm-hmm.
Tarak would know, from gourmet restaurants uh, to impresario. These guys
Mm-hmm.
still have a lot of systems and processes in place now, but at least
Mm-hmm.
back then it was very difficult.
Right, right. I know. I think probably even what I have seen is that hotel restaurants do have fixed things, standardized things, what they do and they follow because
Yes.
that's what the
Yeah.
brands want to do. And but in standalone, you have your own ways and do's to do and impress the guest who comes in, and that is how you get a regular clientele for your restaurants and everything. Tarak, would you like to comment something on the same what Sabir has told?
Yeah, I think I've seen it on both the sides. I work for multi-chain restaurants. I work for Nando's, which is the restaurant to talk about. Nando's has got 1,000
Yeah.
restaurants across the world. So I think so. The store manager becomes a very important. Restaurant manager becomes a very important part of the whole system. So as you said it right, bulb get fused, he bloody well go to the market and fetch it actually, and get it fixed. That's what his
Right,
SOP is all about, and that's what his portfolio is all about in talking terms in what he says to do. Apart from
right.
product service imagery is a part and parcel of the whole
Tarak, we
standalone
lost you.
restaurant where you talk about.
Right, right.
Am I in?
Yeah, yeah, you're in, Jordan.
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, yes.
Sorry. So yeah,
No,
I
no
was
worries.
saying that few things keep the same. I think the product service imagery still remains the same in part and parcel of a high-end restaurant in a five-star hotel or in any singular restaurant in a high street area. Yeah,
Mm,
so that there is similarity part and parcel. I think the guest always demands what he wants to because he's paying for it, and
right.
we have been taught very nicely that guest is king.
So true.
follow the rule number 13 if you don't agree to the rule number 4. So the guest has to be on time. I think that familiarity follows. I think there is no change to that. But however, the responsibility, the kind of pressure you have in a singular restaurant is really different from a
Yes.
restaurant inside a hotel. For sure, I
Yeah.
can tell you. And
Yeah.
I'm with you, Sabir, on this. I've seen it. I've actually gone to the market to fetch it.
Yeah. So that's why.
All of us have, yeah. All of
Yeah.
us, yeah.
A lot of people are missing Nando's for that case, I'm sure. Anyways,
Yeah, absolutely.
thank you very much, Sabir and Tarak. Next, we move on to Priyanka. Never thought of stopping herself to learn, and so she started hosting shows on YouTube named as The Bar Tales, which covers the life journey of renowned people of bar industry. She's also an entertainer, businesswoman, and as a trainer, would you like to tell our students about what is the hospitality industry looking for in students graduating soon?
So looking at the current scenario, things are a little uncertain, but then there would be definitely, bounce back that is going to happen very soon. Uh, what I have been observing through the different groups and the webinars that I have been, conducting so far, this is for the first time that I'm sitting on the other side and answering questions. So what Harshali has been doing today, I have been doing for past 1 month. And there's a lot of opportunity, yes, lying in the industry right now. It's just that we have to wait for the industry to bounce back.
Right.
For the students, I would suggest that they should make best use of this time.
Right.
They should learn. They should keep on upgrading their knowledge. Develop all those skills, and I'm sure Sabir, Tarak, and even Samir would agree with me that this is the time, probably, the development, what probably we did not focus on, while
Right.
working, the operational issues that we faced with the employees. Probably this is the time, everyone could upgrade their knowledge, upgrade their skill. And for new students, yes, definitely there's a lot of opportunity that is going to happen in India post this lockdown, because everyone wants to come back. Everyone wants to, work with best of the employees. And yes, I mean, I come from a standalone background, as well as working with, five-star brands like Four Seasons and Shangri-La. So I have gone through that, that process of, getting trained and doing those briefings and doing things correctly. And again, I have been into a segment where everything was unorganized, yet there were certain SOPs, there were certain standards that yet to be followed by employees. And again, taking a responsibility to train your subordinates. So
Right.
this is somewhere you grow and you learn through the process. And hotel management colleges, I think they do the right part, by inculcating the right values and the discipline. It helped me a lot, being an entrepreneur. Sabia ma'am, if she's attending, I would really like to, I'm really grateful to her, because she was the one who actually encouraged us to get into this entrepreneurial trainings. And we joined NEN. We did some enterprising activities in the college as well. And yes, that was the stepping stone, that was the learning. In fact, managing the restaurant, I mean, doing an event in Salika itself, like, it's a great responsibility to get those people, do the right stuff properly. For me, it was a very life-changing opportunity. I thought of a concept, like, it makes me a little nostalgic. I thought of a concept having all my servers wearing skates and then serve the food. So
Yeah, I remember.
yeah, the first challenge was to find those guys who know how to skate, and
Right.
then you talk about the service. So
true.
and then you have to organize the entire operation to ensure that everything goes flawless. So that was the learning that and the best part, what happens with hotel management colleges is you get the hand holding, that.
Right.
So
Right.
a lot of employees in the hospitality industry, they don't go through that drill, or that grilling process that happens in the colleges. And yes, there are certain grooming and etiquette issues, mannerism issues that as a owner of a restaurant probably they face, and they cannot go and tell them
Right.
that this is, I mean, this is probably assume that, yeah, ye tumko aana chahiye
Aana
kam se kam.
chahiye. I agree with
And
that.
and that's what hotel management colleges do to students, at every
Right.
step. I mean, I still remember the group discussions. I still
Right.
remember, those extempore rounds of, coming in front of the class and talking about a random topic. So
So
that
true.
that that helped me in my career to give presentation, that helped me in my career to interview people, that helped me in my career to do some amazing briefings in the restaurant. So I have worked with Yavacha, so I was
Right.
supposed to do a lot of wine trainings for them. So
Mm-hmm.
taking those little nuances from the lecturers, like what was that one technique that helped me to remember those certain things. So this
Right.
entire journey has been like the most adventurous, and the learning process has been like amazing. So I think hotel management, probably, I don't know which other fraternity or any faculty student does not, I mean, they don't get that kind of development, the 360-degree development that happens in hotel management colleges.
So
I think
true.
no one can beat that. And probably the career changing opportunities that come to you post you complete the degree is, another, world to explore.
So true, Priyanka. I think so. Hotel management, because all the teachers who are teaching also in hotel management are from the same background, so they know how grilling and how long hours you give, where you keep your family life aside. I'm sure even you must have done that, even you, Sabir, Samir, Tarak, because the
Yeah, all of us.
Yes,
designations,
yes.
the entrepreneur skills, what you guys are doing it is amazing. And somewhere or the other, you have to keep your family aside and concentrate on your work, your passion, and move ahead in life. So you all four of y'all are doing a good job. Priyanka,
Thank you.
as Sabir was an entrepreneur for restaurant, you have done a different venture to a different level. So what were your
Yeah.
strategies or challenges faced by you while setting up your organization, and how you managed to clear the obstacles?
Okay, so I would just like to reframe this. Instead of calling it challenges and obstacles, I would take it as learnings.
Right.
Uh, for me, being an entrepreneur, I mean, this journey has been, a nostalgic one, because my partner, business partner, is alumni of Anjuman Islam, Ajay Mankame. I
Right.
don't know if he's watching us on Zoom
I'm
or
sure he's there.
FB
He's
Live.
there.
So yeah, so it was almost a 10-year-old dream, 2008, 2009 to be very precise. And we were at
Right.
coffee shop, and we decided that we want to start with a training company. And
Mm-hmm.
at that time we were too young to even think about, or have that entire structure planned, or that business model to be developed.
Right.
Obviously we took a decision to get into industry, learn things, learn the operations, get the experience, and then come back. But then in those years, 10 years, we completely forgot that we committed this thing to each other. And again in 2018 June, July, to be very precise, we met, and we were just discussing about the problems that are happening in the industry. So
Right.
there was something that sparked up, and we were like, okay, why shouldn't we start with this venture, where we will
Mm-hmm.
handhold people, we will go ahead with creating those easy training modules.
Right.
And I mean, it's just not like you complete a degree and you know everything.
Right. So
There's so
true. So
much.
true.
There are so
Mm.
many other things, there are so many other development, upskilling, upgrading that has to be done. So we come
Right.
from that background, and with experience of working for events, experience of working with standalones, five stars, cruise liners. So we have a team who has a
Right.
completely I mean, a mixture of people coming from different sets of hospitality segment. So
Right.
we thought, even the naming of the brand, Koala Hospitalis, was also like 2 or 3 days thought process कि ये नाम क्यों रखना है.
So
And
true.
then tackling with the rejections, because we were new in the industry.
So true.
um,
So true.
we
Yeah.
had a different background, and then going ahead. But then the capital that we raised for our
Hello.
business.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the capital that we raised for our business was not from our own savings. It was we did few projects, we got that confidence, we earned that money from the clients, and then we invested into a project. So this has
Okay.
been like a 2.5 year of journey, where we have crossed the borders of Mumbai. We have been training, I mean, we had an opportunity to train locals, like the farmers who are working
Right.
at one of the resorts
Mm.
in Nainital.
Oh.
So yeah, so that was one of the amazing experience, training someone who doesn't come from a hotel background, go and train them and teach them
Right.
the right things. And again,
true.
we had projects we did in Gujarat, and yeah, I mean, it has been an amazing journey, learning things, and now we have our own online training app also, where a lot of training opportunities are there for students.
Yes. I clearly remember, Priyanka, you had mentioned earlier also about the skates theme in the restaurant. And I just wanted to tell the current student is that hotel management does not restrict you to just do the bookish knowledge, but to think out of the box. And that is how we had so lovely themes. I'm sorry, I have not seen Tarak's and Samir's theme, but I was there when Sabir was in the third year, and to see their class themes. And obviously, Priyanka, you were my junior, and when I joined as a professor, you were in your third year. And to see such amazing. So it's not that you only restrict कि हाँ सिर्फ front office में काम करना है या housekeeping में करना है, but with your own innovations you can come up. And I know for you it was a lovely bumpy ride, which is now sailing smooth for y'all. Okay. So thank you,
Yeah,
Priyanka,
yeah,
for
but
sharing your experience also. Now it was great to hear your professional experience. Now I'm going to ask you all that one. Can you please mute off? Yeah. Sorry. It was a great to hear your professional experience, but now I want you all to share that one special moment in the college. I'm sure you have many of them. A few, I think so, Tarak shared with me on WhatsApp also, so that we can discuss one-to-one, Tarak, with you. But yes, I would like you to start first with one amazing moment in college, which you will never forget, and you meet your friends and you still talk about the same.
Yeah, means yeah, you're right. I think there were many of them in those 3 wonderful years. Like we used to spend almost 12 to 16 hours every day among ourselves. So it was like more than a family, I think, more than anything else.
I'm
But
sure.
one thing which I remember it well, where I got penalized, I want to talk about it. So,
Yes, you can go
so,
ahead.
so there used to be a time when we used to get our eggs to make mayonnaise, I think. And me and my
Okay.
partner used to steal eggs and used to eat them up.
I
And
think so many of us have done the same thing where we
but
have
no, but not
either.
I don't think so anybody got penalized how we got, because both of our
Okay.
partner got caught one fine day, and then
Uh-huh.
we had to buy all the eggs for that day.
Oh, yeah, I'm
And
sure.
those days I think we used to get only 75 rupees for our waitings.
Right.
It was a bomb for us, I can tell you.
I'm sure. I'm sure. So
So I
true.
think
So
that
true.
was I'm sure that somebody, I think Dickie's in the line, I think he will also agree for that. I mean, so I think a couple of them knows what we have done and how we got caught and how we were penalized. Some of us know about it.
So true.
I
So
think
true.
that was tough, I can tell you.
My entire class was penalized because they ate the entire biscuit which was there for the dessert. And there were no practicals for them. So I'm sure this many of them have done, but yes, the kind of punishment what you have got, we have really not got the same. I would like Samir to share one of his experience.
Sure. So there have been many actually. As Tarak said, spending 3 years on the campus, and once so we were in this. Everything was makeshift for us. You know,
Right.
then and the next after 1 hour, the whole room changes into something else, and
Absolutely.
then we used to pull the tables and make it into a restaurant, or maybe pull a bed and then and make it into make it into a housekeeping practical room, and then it gets transformed into a locker room soon. So, but speaking about an event, I would say not a moment, but an event I would talk about, where which was very highlight, and I'm sure if I talk to any of my batchmates today, it runs through our mind, because it was a themed dinner that we had to do, and I think so it was the first themed dinner that we did.
Mm, right,
That was
right,
Shahana Dawat.
right,
And
right.
I think so. If I'm not wrong, the tickets for that entry tickets were sold for $200 or 150 or $200, and it was a challenge. It was a
Mhm.
challenge to, first of all, hotel management those days. If somebody had to do hotel management, it has to be from Dadar Catering College, and then you're coming from Anjuman Islam. matlab, what are you? Who are you? So and what are you trying to do with your life?
Right,
So
right.
and then to sell off those tickets, that was one thing, and then but those 3 days, I remember we were camped on the campus. We were there literally day and night. I remember
Oh.
we slept over there in the night. The previous night, then we went just home to pick up our our clothing and come back again, and then get the whole thing done, and then again wash the plates also after the whole
Yeah.
event was done. And then those plates also, I had myself loaded in those plates from Juhu, from talking to one of our caterers, private caterers,
Right.
basically on a loan, and got it for 1.5 days, and then again cleaned them in the night, and then we took it back. And I was I was the F&B manager for that event.
Yeah.
So, and there was no ranks over there. It was like everybody is doing everything,
So
and
true.
we all did very well, and I think so we learned a lot out of that event.
So
So
true.
that was the very good thing. I would take another minute to just talk about, which never runs off my mind, a
Sure.
small mischievous event. It was a 80K kitchen, and I think so we were in the third year, and mischievous bunch of guys what we were. And so we had to make, it was a continental cooking that we were doing, and we had to make potato croquettes. And those couple of potato croquettes, I could never forget in my life, because they kept on jumping from one table to another. After, the professor would come, the chef Sheikh was there
Right.
with us, and he used to come, and he has to check your table whether everything is correct.
Right.
And
Right.
these two pieces of croquet traveled to 4 tables. Once he was not, once we see his back, it was tossed from one table to another table. The other guy would catch it and put it and plate it again. And again, this kept on moving to 4 tables, until a time reached where, because what happened to them? What happened was, we decided to eat the croquets, which was supposed to be plated, and then these two croquets were left to move around, and to move around,
Oh,
and for the approval. So we had a lot
right.
of fun moments over there, but I'm sure we learned a lot. We learned a lot the hard way, and
Yes.
the entire batch owes to the to our principal, to the professors, and
Right.
and to the attitude that
So
the
true.
institute gave us.
Yes.
There's attitude was never give up. Everything is right. There's nothing called small. All job is
Hmm.
everything. A job given to you is a job. Just do it, and you would be
Right.
appreciated one day. So I believe, yeah, lots of them.
Yeah, I completely remember the theme dinners, because probably I'm the only alumni who have seen the theme dinners also, and have seen the current Magna, where we spend 2 entire days for various activities and food stalls and everything. There's a lot of hard work put into it, and I'm sure this help kids to grow and plan their career in a very, very, very systematic manner. Because during Magna, we have students who have put up stalls and earn more than the profit which was they were thinking of having it by doing or selling those products. So sometimes it gives us a very proud moment also, that these theme dinners and Magna has helped our students to really be upfront with any situations come in their way. Thank you, Samir. Now I
Thank
would
you.
like Sabir. I know many of yours in the third year, but I'm sure you must be having one which I don't know about it. So you can please share the same with us.
Uh, so yeah, so we all have a lot of incidents, and Rishali, you've been part of them
So true.
through, yeah, some way or the other. So so I remember in a, I was not, like, I was not very good at kitchen. Like I
Mm.
used to be very very bad at kitchen. And for bakery practicals, there was a thing where whatever you bake, you have to buy that and take it home.
Right.
And I would be really really embarrassed to take my product home. My, my dad would say that, yeah, बहुत ज़्यादा fees भर रहा हूँ. And like a typical mentality of, you're going to a catering college, you better know how
So
to cook.
true. Yeah.
So it was a big catch. So a couple of times I took bread, I took like a loaf or something, and it was
Right.
really really bad. And then there were a couple of guys in the batch who were really good at baking.
So true.
And if you remember, just before we put it in the oven, we would put a butter paper on it, write
Right.
your name, and just
Right.
tie it around. you know and you know how we were, like my entire group were, we
I'm
would always
sure.
be in the forefront and saying, no no no, we will do it, and we'll always be
Right.
there. So
Uh-huh.
while removing the product from the oven, we would change the butter paper.
Oh
And
my
the guy who
God.
would be really really nice would wonder, saying, why the hell is my product wrong? Why is it going bad? And we would
Uh,
take the product, we would buy that and take it home. and till the day, I mean, it was really, really nice till the day we got caught and we were really fined and we had to buy the entire batches
Pradap.
product. And yeah, that was really,
Oh
really
my
nice.
God. Your batch was one hilarious, and with Shirley
I
being
know.
your mother, I'm sure
Yeah.
she must have not come with some equipment to bash you all that it was my product. Thank you, Sabir. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Priyanka, you are the last one to share your experience for the
Yeah.
same.
So I think in our batch, so it's like batch one and batch two. So we were batch two
Right.
guys, and Amit sir was our counselor for 2 years, and then
Right.
we I think our batch two was one of the nasty batches, probably in doing all those kidas and like
Hmm.
doing some musty in every lecture possibly. So
Mhm.
I think students were standing out of the class. Probably, I mean, maximum were from our class. Probably that must have happened. But then the
Right.
funny event that I remember was the first practical, probably with Anthony sir. I mean, I
Mhm.
truly believe that all the professors in Anjuman Islam, they're very creative with their punishments. I mean, more the students are creative with their own masti. Teachers are more
Right.
creative with their punishments.
So true.
So I remember, I used to love, working around the range, like that was like limelight, कि हाँ
Right.
चलो
So true.
चल रहा है, like, there's some activity happening. And my partner, so we were in first year and we forgot to add or use that egg white. I don't remember what recipe was that, but
Okay.
so Anthony sir was taking round on every table what's happening, and it was just
Yeah.
about like we was about to plate the food and everything, and then he
Right.
comes and ye egg white kiska hai, and then we are like we both are clueless, and it is lying on our table, and then he comes and he catch hold of both of us and he's like, okay, so you two, I have found this egg white on your table, so let me know
Mm.
what should I do with it. So
Right.
we two are like looking at each other and we don't know what to do with it. I mean, we have no clue why we did not even use that. And then he's like, okay, so I just saw some advertisement recently, egg white is good for hair. And he was
Right.
like about to pour that egg white through our chef caps. And we were like, okay, now that could be probably the last day in the college. But
Oh.
yeah, I mean, obviously he didn't do that. Else it would have been a stinky day of the day. I mean,
I'm sure he must have told you, गधा है तुम लोग और तुम क्या कर रहा है hotel management
yeah, yeah,
में. That was his patent dialogue to all of us
yeah,
whenever
yeah,
we
of
did our first year
course.
practicals.
But that fear, but but out of that, fear that he tried to have amongst the students,
Right.
I scored like top. I was the top scorer for my food production exam in that
Yeah.
coming semester.
I know
So yeah, I
Anthony
mean, it was
sir was very hard or strict in college, but he was a very fun-loving guy when we went on a
yes,
study tour
totally.
with him. And we kept singing, "My name is Anthony Gonsalves," and there was no words from his side. So I'm sure he was a very, very nice teacher for us. So thank you, Priyanka. Thank you all four of you for sharing such wonderful moments. I would like
Pleasure.
now to ask the audience if they have any questions to be asked to our esteemed panelists. So, Tarak, I would like you to answer this question. Would you
Hmm.
like to comment on physical distancing to be maintained and how it would affect the revenues of our restaurant industry? The question is from Rahul.
Well, to start with, I think for that restaurant has to start. I think people are making arrangement. Like Bangalore has gone live now, I think, with
Right.
restaurants starting from Monday, I think. Social distancing will be there. There will be at least 30% occupancy instead of 100 anymore. So if a restaurant had 100 tables to talk about, they will only have
Mm-hmm.
30 to maintain that
Mm-hmm.
social distancing.
Right.
Today, from I will say that a restaurant only talks about first about product, then service, then talking about hygiene standards and how the store look
Right.
like, feel, the signage,
Mm-hmm.
etc. That has
Mm-hmm.
transpired now into more of hygiene standard, going up to
Right.
service and then up
Uh-huh.
to food. Then, so I think things have changed. That's the new normal I'm talking about right now.
Right.
So things have changed dramatically pre-COVID and post-COVID. I think
Mm-hmm.
post-COVID will see your sales going down by, if not more than, I think it should be around 30 to 40% only, because you're
Mm-hmm.
giving that kind of tables to offering now. So I
Right.
think social distancing has to be maintained, I think, and
Mm-hmm.
all the restaurants are getting geared up to, in different format, in different ways, in different cycle, getting a
Mm-hmm.
lot of things in place right now. to
Right.
get going. I think social distancing will have to be done at least for the post-COVID era.
Right. Thank you. Thank you, Tarak. I hope the person is clear with his doubt. My next question is to Samir, because can you comment about the current scenario of hospitality industry affected due to COVID-19?
So, if you talk about, are you talking about the COVID-19 to the hospitality industry? They definitely look at the hotels; they're all shut. Look at the
Right.
restaurants; they're all shut. For me, my malls are also real estate malls are also shut, and it's an effect that is across span, not even India, it's all across the globe. As we get some relaxation, we will start opening up. I think so. It's time for us to open up slowly and then wait and watch, observe, and then do
Right.
some more tweaking into it. Because today, let's buy it that nobody has seen pandemic. None of us. So it's only everyone can come and you can give your thoughts upon it, and
Right.
we pick the best of the thoughts from the industry or from the people, and then we say that okay, this let's do this, but nobody has seen it. So I'm saying, okay, let's take all the precautions for the
Right.
restaurants, for the hospitality, and move ahead as we get a go ahead to open. Let's open up slowly, get the confidence of the customer, of the employees, as well as let the cash registers start ringing in. Once the money starts coming in, people will get the confidence. The customers will get confidence that yes, it's safe to venture
Right.
out, to eat out, or to travel, to stay in the hotels. It's totally okay. The new normal asks you to sanitize yourself or to have your PPE. That's totally fine. But you can't stop your life. It has to go on.
Right.
It has to go on
Right.
with some precautions, and it will be a slow momentum in the beginning.
Right.
But I am sure humans, as we are, we will find out a way out over there. We'll
Yeah.
find a way out how to survive, and it's just doing a mathematics again, going back to the drawing board, and again realigning things with getting this your sequencing, doing working on it, and then seeing what works the best for us, and then save a lot where you can save, and still give the best product to your customer.
I'm sure. I'm sure slowly, slowly, we all will be able to adapt the new rules post-COVID
Yeah, we
and
have to. Yeah.
be more precaution with our own lives. Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you, Samir. Next
Thank you.
question is for you, Sabir. Do you think we were humble to start with our jobs, no matter where or what positions we got that time? And do you agree that this quality helped in growing?
Oh, definitely, yes. So yeah, more than me, even Tarak or Samir would understand that even when they passed out, the opportunity, like yes, the competition was less, but the opportunities were equally less. They barely had any hotels. So even in 2004, things had not changed drastically, where we had like hundreds of opportunities. Apart from hotels, we didn't have anything else to do.
Right.
There weren't many malls out there.
So true.
You know. Aviation sector wasn't booming the way it is booming right now. There were a couple of
Right.
airlines which were doing really well, and that's about it. So yes, we had a few choices to join, but then they were very limited to hotel industry. So
Right.
so everyone would have like couple of hotels as a choice. But yes, we had to start very at an early stage. So I started as an operational trainee, barely with 3,000 rupees salary. So did it help me grow? It definitely helped. I
Right.
always believed that starting or growing gradually, you get to learn a lot.
Right.
You kind of learn everything in your journey. You straight away do not jump any hierarchy and become a manager. And tomorrow, if a junior is or someone you want to correct, you have to have that knowledge to correct that guy. So as a
Right.
leader, you have to gain that respect, and that respect is only there when you have the knowledge, and knowledge comes
Right.
with experience. So they're all together. You cannot
Right.
single out either of it. So
Right.
it definitely helps. So as an entrepreneur, definitely. So today, if I see a steward taking orders, and if he's not taking orders, I can go up to the table and say, okay, you know what, I'll take the orders and I'll show to you. Had I
Right.
not been a steward earlier, I wouldn't be in a position to correct him.
Absolutely.
So yeah, so humble beginnings are really nice.
Yeah.
One point I would like to add, it's little digress from this question to being an entrepreneur.
Mhm.
Uh, there's a typical mentality that if I am into a catering college or if I am into this industry, I can open a restaurant, I can open a cafe, a
Right.
kiosk, or anything to do with F&B
Mm-hmm.
only. But then that's
Mm-hmm.
not the thing. I mean, look at Priyanka. She doesn't have a restaurant, but then she's doing something related to the industry.
Right.
Likewise, there are our industry is
Hmm.
so vast. Anybody who wants to get into entrepreneurship has so many opportunities to do so. Say
Right.
in today's COVID-19 world, if you're
Mm-hmm.
part of the industry, you exactly know what are the pain points of any restaurant, and
Right.
anybody who can think of reaching out to those pain points, there is an
Mm-hmm.
opportunity.
So
If you're
true.
talking about contactless ordering, then if there is
Mm.
somebody who wants to get into a business where they come up with an app, for instance,
Right. So true.
so that's an opportunity. You're part of the
Yeah.
industry, but you're not selling food. So,
Right.
but to know the pain point of the industry, if there's an hotel management graduate and an IT engineer, like a hotel
Mm-hmm.
management graduate would know the pain points of the industry much more than the IT
So
engineer.
true. Yeah. Right. Right.
So for current students, for people who are wanting to get into the industry, do not ever think that restaurants or hotels or pubs or clubs or bars or cafes are your only ventures out there. No, you can be
Yeah.
anything. You all For
Anything.
all you want, you can be a kitchen equipment manufacturer.
So true, so true.
Very
I
true.
completely agree with that. That a lot of our alumni have ventured into different sectors, and they are doing really good by adding our hospitality touch to it, by giving the
Yes.
special customer service, politeness, and how things can be much more easier for them.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sabir. Our next question is for Priyanka. What will it take for the revival of hospitality industry?
Okay, I think patience and patience, because yes, definitely you need to wait, you need to watch things. But I would also say, so we also do consultancy. We help restaurant to. I mean, we are in the process of setting up outlets. So
Right.
even our projects are stuck right now.
True.
So,
True.
I mean, that's a crazy situation. But then, for the revival part of it, I think we need to look back into the operations.
Mm-hmm.
Probably wherever we have cut the corners, or
Right.
probably there are certain areas that we did not look into, or probably we did not give preferences to, get those areas rectified. So it could be staff training, it could be
Right.
work, getting your back areas in place, getting your inventories
Mm.
in place, doing that menu re-engineering part of it, or looking into your
Mm.
profit and loss accounts. So probably this is the time for outlet owners to look into it and get them aligned. This is
Right.
like a good time to do that revision and self
Mm-hmm.
study, self analysis, and
Mm-hmm.
then bounce back with whatever challenges we have right now. So
Mm-hmm.
there is always way there. So if there's a problem, there's a solution. So this is a time to find the solution. Like, if I am not able to do a certain thing, what is the other way
Mm-hmm.
that I can find and still survive? So even for
Right.
us, being in the training business, obviously, like, we were supposed to launch a course in March, and we went
Mm-hmm.
into this lockdown. But then,
Right.
did that stop us from doing this course? No, it did not. So we found an
Absolutely.
alternative that we can
Mm-hmm.
still take help from help of online options. So we
Right.
got
True.
the software developed, and then now we are doing it. So I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's for us to do that little self analysis part, looking back
Mm-hmm.
into our operations, and then coming back with the right procedures, and yes, definitely
Right.
hygiene and social distancing and whatever rules and regulations we have to follow, we have to follow that. There's no way to it. But
Mm-hmm.
you have to constantly motivate your staff. You need to constantly be self motivated, because things are
Mm-hmm.
going to be challenging in future.
So
So
true.
I think Sabir, Samir, and Tarak would agree with me that more than them being motivated, or knowing their operations well, getting the team aligned is going to
Of
be the
course, it's
major
a
I'm
big
task.
sure.
challenge.
Yeah,
I'm
sure.
sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
at every different level, I think so. We all are going to face this, because we, as the lecturers, with our students, Samir with the mall staff and the shopkeepers and everyone, Sabir with his own restaurant staff, and Tarak with his own outlets and everything. And we all need to be completely patient to do so. And I'm sure it's a vice versa with the customers also, because I can see if you Facebook. trends or tweets going around, like, be patient when you join the when you go to the hotel and order, because even they have come back from the lockdown. So I'm sure
So
patience
to
is
this, I would
something.
like to add one more thing, Harshali, that
Yeah.
as a responsible hospitality personnel or professional, we also need to take this responsibility of educating customers. That is really,
Right.
really important at this
I
point of
agree.
time. I mean, customer is God, or that golden rule that we have been imbibing in our minds. It's not
Right.
always true. That needs to be given that little twist to that entire
Right.
statement. Yeah, you might be
Mm-hmm.
right from your perspective, but there are things that we also have from our end. Like
Right.
operationally, there are a lot of things that we cannot go and deliver to the customer as per their expectations. But if
So
we could
true.
find an alternative and create a different experience, a memorable one, then probably
Right.
here the educating part comes into picture. We need to tell guests like why a certain thing is done in certain way. And here,
Yeah.
like looking in future, probably yeah, we have to probably have the list of rules for the customers, like how they need to behave or how they need to interact with the staff, or and likewise it goes for the internal team also.
Right. So true. So true. Thank you. Thank you, Priyanka, for the answer. We have two more questions. We'll take two more questions and then we'll end the session. Uh, there's one more question. As we have to look for various avenues in jobs, do you recommend the current students to also look for various avenues for their internship, which is mandatory part of course? Samir, would you like to answer the question?
Yeah, sure. So I believe as we know that after you pass out, there will be different avenues or various avenues where you could pursue your career. So even for your internship, I think so. We need to broaden our thinking and. Right in the college, if somebody has a knack, if somebody says that okay, I want to go for I want to go for airlines, so why don't let him do her internship in that sector
Right.
and gain some experience. Or somebody wants to be with the real estate mall, so why not over there? Same. So I think so that can be done. We don't need to stick. Time has we have proven history behind us that
Hmm.
people who have graduated from hotel management are today well placed in different sectors of industries. And
Right.
we need to take bio from this theory, and we need to let the future students pursue it accordingly. And we don't need to be so rigid that we need to go get into a hotel, a
Hmm.
five-star hotel. That's an immense pressure. I remember
Right.
our days, there were very few five-star hotels in Bombay, and if you're not
Right.
into those, you're out. So I think
So
so.
true.
Let the people choose where they want to be, and I've seen this. If somebody loves something and has a liking towards something, he will excel. He or she will excel
Right.
in that field.
So true.
So let them explore it, let them have it, let the trainings be open, let them choose their field,
Right.
and
Hmm.
let them learn. So when they're ready for the job, they have the basics, they know the basics.
Right. 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 I agree. Yes. Same. Yes, Priyanka, you would like to add something on the same?
So, I mean, I completely agree with what Samir is saying.
Hmm.
I mean, see, internship definitely it's going to be an immense pressure on the industry as well to
Right.
accurate such kind of human resource, because there has been a tremendous amount of layoffs. But
Right.
then again, always look for a positive, side. So
Right.
probably if what I mean, it's okay. You don't get chance to work with five-star. Look out for an opportunity where you can, still upgrade your skills, upgrade
Hmm.
your knowledge by looking out
Right.
for different avenues. You can get into, uh, a process where you are helping someone to study better, or you are
Right.
probably working with, a place where they need a hospitality professional. It could
Right.
be
So true.
nowadays. I think now employees should be like all rounder. It should not be like कि नहीं मैं सिर्फ front office देखूंगा या मैं सिर्फ
So
service
true.
करूंगा. It has to be all
Hmm.
rounder, because there will be amount of pressure that is going to come on the current operation. So we need to brace up ourselves for that. And it's
Yeah.
always good to have complete knowledge about the entire operation. Like I have seen in Four Seasons, my general manager, my hotel managers, when there is like huge amount of pressure in the operation, they actually came, they cleared the plates, they had set the table.
Right. Right.
It's not, I mean, it's not about position anymore. I mean, let's
So
let's
true.
get things,
Yeah.
in our head completely imbibed and inculcated as a value that it's not about the
Mm.
position, it's all about the operations, what you are into, and it's all about the
Right.
guest who is going to come and pay you. So
So
that
true.
perception has to change.
Right. I completely agree with you, Priyanka, because as a placement coordinator in the college, also, I keep telling my students that whatever best opportunities you get, you better utilize the same, because you never know where you will reach by joining that particular company. Because
Of
during our
course.
times, we never had retail as an option, as Sabir said, and even Samir and Tarak would agree to it. There was no one to guide us, and probably today the students have everything on a platter to eat. They have so many
True.
people to guide them, and our industry has grown so wide that people can tell you, okay, not if you're not comfortable with this, get into this. If you're not comfortable in hotels, get into tourism sector, get into retail sector, get into brands. So there is a wide option, and yes, people should keep everything open for them to make their careers and take it to a good place.
True.
Sorry. Though I don't want to end up this session, but it was real great fun to have all four of you on board. I really felt nostalgic, and I never thought that I would be doing this session. Thank you very much for being such a great panelist. And now I would like to sum up this session. So as we all know that we have people from four different sectors, and they have given you best options of choosing your careers into retails, into restaurants, into training, into mall management. So please grab all that points for yourself and see where you can and see the correct career for yourself. So thank you very much. There were so many wow moments, and as an alumna, feel so proud to have hosted this webinar and shared the platform with an executive director, general manager, an entrepreneur, and an expert trainer. The panelists are clear example that hospitality education is not restricted to just the four cores of the hotel, but to a wide sectors of business. On this note, let me end by saying Anjumanites rock, and that's what our slogan is.
Yes, definitely.
Thank you
Thank
for
you
So
so
having us.
much. We are
Thank you
Thank
really
so
you.
much for
grateful.
having us,
yeah,
Thank
Harshali.
you.
thank you,
Thank you so
Tarak,
much.
Samir, Sabir, and Priyanka. It was great having you here. I will hand over to Kainaz now.
Thank you, Harshali. On behalf of the Anjumana Islam's IHM City, I would like to take this opportunity to thank our esteemed panelists for their valuable time and insight. For future webinars, please visit our website on www.anjumanihmcity.org. Signing off, Team Webinar AII IHM City. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bye
Thank you.
Thank
bye.
you.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye.